Hello everyone, myself Heli Mehta, working as an assistant professor in Computer Engineering Department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Our subject is web programming. So our unit is third, that is client-side scripting using JavaScript. So outlines are introduction, in which we will see tasks performed by client-side scripting, advantages and disadvantages of client-side script, client-side script versus server-side script. Next is variables, next is functions, next is conditions and loops. So first is introduction. For a web page, HTML supplies document content and structure, while CSS provides presentation styling. Okay, in previous lectures we completed HTML and CSS. Okay, so we design a web page using HTML and CSS, in which HTML supplies document content and structure. Okay, so what is the structure of your web page? While CSS provide presentation styling. Okay, how you present your web page. In addition, client-side scripts can control browser actions associated with the web page. Okay, so our web page is associated with browser. So client-side script will control the browser actions. Client-side scripts are almost written in the JavaScript language to control the browser's actions. So remember this, client-side script is used to control the browser actions. Okay, and it is almost written in the JavaScript language. Client-side scripting can make web page more dynamic and more responsive. Okay. Tasks performed by client-side script. Checking correctness of user inputs. Okay, so we have to give the inputs. Okay, so we have a client and server side. Okay, so from client side we are giving the input. Okay, and from server side we get the output. Okay, so our input must be correct. Okay, so checking correctness of users input, monitoring user events and specifying reactions. Okay, so it will monitor all the events by user, replacing and updating parts of the pages. It will use for replacing and updating, changing the style and positions of display element dynamically. Okay, so we can change the style and position of the elements dynamically. Modifying a page in response to event, we can modify the page. Getting browser's information. Okay, as I have explained, it control the browser, so we will get the browser information. Making the web page different depending on the browsers and browser features. Generating HTML code for a part of the page. So these all are the tasks performed by the client-side script. So advantages and disadvantages of client-side scripting. So first is advantages. Allows for more interactivity by immediately responding to users' action. Execute quickly because they do not require a trip to the server. Okay, so they execute very fast. The web browser uses its own resources and is the burden on the server. Okay, so web browsers are using their resources, so the server will not burden. Okay, it saves the network bandwidth, obviously. So it is the advantages of client-side scripting. Next is disadvantages. Code is loaded in the browser, so it will be visible to the client. Okay, so code is visible to client. Code is modifiable, so anyone can change the code as it is visible to the client. Local files and database cannot be accessed. Okay, user is able to disable client-side scripting. Okay, so these all are the disadvantages. So next is client side versus server side scripting. So we have a server and we have a client side. So server side scripting is used to create dynamic pages based on a number of conditions when the user's browser make a request to the servers. Okay, so server side scripting is used to create the dynamic page. Okay, so client send the request to server and server give the output. Okay, so this is the server side scripting. And at client side scripting is used when the user browser already has all the code and the page is altered on the basis of user's input. The web server executes the server side scripting that produce the page to be sent to the browser. Okay, so web server execute the server side scripting and it will produce the page to send to the browser. Okay, it will give the output. to the browser. The web browser executes the client-side scripting that resides at the user's computer as we send the request to the server using web browser. Server-side scripting is used to connect to the database and files that reside on the web server. So server-side scripting is used to connect all the database and files that are on the web servers. Okay, one example is there. Suppose you are asking for your results. Okay, so at client side you are entering your enrollment number, and from server side you get your result. Okay, so it is all your result is stored in the database. Okay, so server side scripting is used to connect to the database and files that resides on the server. Okay, so at the web server your database and files are stored. Client side scripting cannot be used to connect to the database and files on the web server. Okay, so server side scripting is used to connect the database on the web server. Server resources can be accessed by the server side scripting. Browser resources can be accessed by the client side scripting. Okay, so here server resources can be accessed and here browser resources can be accessed. Server side scripting can't be blocked by the user. So, user cannot block the services, while client side scripting is possible to be locked by the user can lock the services. Okay, scripting. Example of server side scripting language are PHP, JSP, ASP, ASP.NET, Ruby, Perl, many more. Okay, so remember these examples: PHP, JSP, ASP.NET. Okay, example of client side scripting are JavaScript, VBScript, etc. Okay, so next is a script tag. The script tag is used to define a client-side script, JavaScript. Okay, so whenever we want to write the JavaScript, we have to use the script tag. The script element either contains scripting statement or it points to an external script file through the SRC attributes, source attributes. Okay, so we have a script element contain the scripting statement. We can directly write the statements or point to the external script file through the source attribute. So we can use the source attributes and we can access the external file. For example, see here we have a HTML code. So HTML start end, we have a head. In head we have a HTML script tag, it is the title. Now in body we are using script tag. Okay, in script tag we are using the script type is equal to text JavaScript. Okay, so our type is text in JavaScript. Okay, and here we have a JavaScript code here. Directly we can use, as I have explained here, the script element either contains scripting statements. So we can directly write scripting statements in a script tag. Okay, or we can use, here we have a same HTML starting ending, head, in head we have a title. In body we have a script tag in which we are providing the file path. See here, script src is our source, is equal to path to JS. Okay, so we have a JavaScript file that is known as an external script file. Okay, and we have to provide path over here. Okay, so we have a two option. We can write the scripting statement directly in the script like this. Here we have to write directly, and or we can provide the external script file through SRC attributes. So remember this script tag. Next is variables. A variable can contain several types of values. Okay, you already know about the variables. Okay, we have a number, so numeric value 156, 100, etc. String, character wrapped in a quartet. For example, Navsari, we have to write in the double quotes. Boolean, a value of true or false. Null, empty variable. Function, a function name. Object, an object. Okay, attributes of JavaScript variables. It is a case sensitive. Okay, so my number and my number. Okay, so small letter and capital letters are different variables. So it is a case sensitive. It cannot contain space, start, or it cannot be start with digit. Okay, it cannot be a JavaScript reserved word. Okay, so these all are the variables. Next is conditions. So if condition, if a greater than 10, then we have to write a alert a is greater than 10. Okay, ternary operator, maximum is equal to a greater than b, question mark a colon b. Okay, so if a greater than b, then output is a, Otherwise, if A greater than B condition is false, then B will be your output. That is the ternary operator you already know in the C language. Switch case, okay, so switch, here we have to provide the expression. We have a case, so case 1, case B2, code to execute, here we have to write the code and break, okay. These all syntax are known by you, okay. Next is loop, okay, for loop, while loop, do while loop, okay. So for loop, use when you know how many repetitions you want to do. Syntax is same for initialization, colon, condition, colon, increment or decrement. In bracket you have to write the statements. So x is equal to 0 is initialization, x less than 10 is a condition, and x plus plus is the increment. And curly bracket you have to write the statements. While loop, loop through block of code while condition is true. So we have a syntax while condition. If while condition is true, then we have it execute the block over here. So example, x less than y, x less than 10, then this condition is true, then this code is executed. Do while loop, execute block at least once, then repeat while condition is true. Do while condition, okay, so do code is here while x less than 10, okay. So this is the syntax, same as C language. Strings, string can be defined as a sequence of letter, digit or punctuation and so on. A string is in a JavaScript is wrapped with single or double quote, okay. String can be joined together with the plus operator, which is called as a concatenation, okay. So for example, my string is equal to, in double quotes I have write my college name is, then I use plus double quotes mjeter, so it will concat two string, my college name is mjeter, okay. Next is, as a string is an object type, it also has some useful features, okay. So we can find out the length of the string. So len string, lenstr, this is the variable len string is equal to my string dot length. So it will provide the length of your string, which returns the length of the string in an integer, okay. Suppose your string is mjeter, so 1 2 3 4 5 6, so it will provide the 6 in the output. So there are also number of methods available for string, okay. So first is character at, returns the character at a specific index, okay. Suppose we have a string of 10 characters, okay, and we are providing we want the character at 5th position, okay, then we can use character at, so it will provide the character which is at the 5th position, okay, index, or you can say index or position. Index of, find the first index of the character. Last index of, find the last index of the character. Substring, string within string. Replace a specific value with another value in the string, okay. To lowercase we can convert it into the lowercase small letter. To uppercase we can convert it into the capital letter. An escape sequence is a sequence of characters that does not represent itself when used inside a character or string, but it translated into another character or sequence of characters that may be difficult or impossible to represent directly, okay. So it is a escape sequence. Some useful escape sequence are /t tab, you already know about this, /n new line, /r carriage return, okay, double quote, single quote, backslash, okay. So these all are the escape sequence. Arrays, collection of data. Array is a collection of data. Each time in an array has an index to access it. Way to use array in JavaScript. So we have to use array like this, where my array is equal to new array, okay. My array at 0 position, 1 position, 2 position, okay. So you can use array in the JavaScript. You can write like this in double quotes the value. Surat, it is a string, so in double quotes integer value, and this is the boolean value. Next is functions. A JavaScript functions is a block of code designed to perform a particular task, as we see in the C language, okay. So function is a block of code designed to perform some particular task. A JavaScript function is executed when something invoked, okay. A JavaScript function is defined with the function keyword. Okay, so we have to use the function keyword followed by a name followed by a parenthesis. Okay, so we have a function name and parenthesis. The parenthesis may include parameters name separated by comma, that is parameter 1 comma parameter 2. Okay, a code to be executed by the function is placed inside curly brackets. For example, we have a code, that is function, we have to compulsory write function. My function is a function name. Okay, in bracket we have a two parameters, that is p1 comma p2, and in curly bracket we have to write the code. So return p1 into p2. Okay, so this is the function that you already know. When JavaScript reaches a return statement, the function will stop executing. Okay, if the function was invoked from a statement, JavaScript will return to execute the code after the invoking statement function call. The code inside the function will execute when something involves call the function. Okay, so we have a function definition, function declaration, and function call. When function calls, it will invoke the function. Code inside the function will execute when function will be called. Okay, when an event occur, okay, when a user click a button, when it is invoked call from the JavaScript code, okay, as we call in the function in C language. Okay, so we call one function from another function. Okay, so when some function is called, it will execute the code inside that function. Okay, automatically means self invoke. So these all are the functions. Thank you.